or soccer.
Well, Americans call it soccer. Everyone else in the world calls it football.
American soccer. So,
What do they use to move the ball? Oh, their foot. So they call it football. It's pretty smart.
yeah.
Why would you call football and NFL football? Like, I don't, like, you would never think. People would, like, ask, some people would ask me,
Well, when they were first creating football, did they not think, hey, there's already a sport called football, and we're gonna call this one football? So, I mean, if you could rename it, what would it be?
you can't rename it. It's gone too far. But I think it was more of like, they didn't know about football, soccer.
They didn't know about soccer.
They didn't know
How
about
could you
soccer.
not? Everyone's an immigrant.
I'm trying to make an
Well, how
excuse
old
for
is-
the
how-
NFL and
How
help them
old
out.
is soccer / real football?
About 100 years, 200 years.
So it's been out
It's been out. You're right.
for a while.
But it hasn't super famous. So a lot of immigrants that come here don't know, probably didn't know about football, soccer. And then they got accustomed here. And then they're immigrant, I don't know.
That's interesting.
Very
How'd
interesting.
you miss that? Like, how'd you miss
But
that?
it's almost like, yeah, how did you miss that? Mm-hmm. But anyways, back to Messi. Lionel Messi, arguably the best football / soccer player in the world. 35 years old. He's going to come to the MLS, a league that just sucks. I'm sorry if you're an MLS fan. You must be an MLS fan before watching Premier League or any La Liga or any of the European leagues, because European leagues, they got it right. They have a thing called relegation, right? If you suck, you are gone, and if you're good, you get promoted. We don't have that in America, because in America, you have the worst team. You're just worse, and you go buy yourself out of last place. That's what Miami is. Miami is the worst MLS team in their division. Pretty bad. And they're bringing Messi in this crazy contract. Messi was offered $1.6 billion to play in Saudi Arabia. $1.6 billion with a B, not an M.
Oh my goodness.
Think about that. So they went out there and checked it out, and his wife was like, no.
Why? Why not
Think
Saudi
about
Arabia?
it. Think about it.
What? I'm pretty sure they treat women like royalty in Saudi Arabia.
Compared to where they wanted to be, language barrier and all that, they wanted to be somewhere comfortable. So they were thinking about going back to Spain, Barcelona. Barcelona can't give him what he wanted. Miami is going to pay him 50 to 60 million a year, right? And they're like, what? That's it?
Spanish-speaking culture there?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly why. So they traveled to Miami, which I thought was kind of weird. It was first time ever 2 years ago is what I read. His wife loved it there. They're like, a lot of people speak Spanish. It's beautiful.
Beaches.
They bought properties. They bought that. That's the writing on the wall. They bought a luxury apartment there. And when I say apartment, it's like a freaking mansion compared to what we have, right? And it overlooks beaches, and it's in the city, and it's beautiful. That's not where the deal ends, right? He's also going to get a percentage of ticket sales from the MLS.
Oh, wow.
He's also going to get revenue from MLS streaming the games through Apple. So Apple is going to be giving him a stream of revenue as well.
So wait. He's not getting money just from team.
No, he's getting the money from the team, but
Money from
this
the
is
team.
addition to.
But all of the league.
Oh, ticket sales from all the teams that they play.
Oh, that they play.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you said like the entire.
I don't know. Maybe it's the whole league. If it's the whole league, that's pretty crazy. But ticket sales for every game. Now, we'll get back to the ticket sales in a second. I want to get done with Apple. So he's going to get revenue from Apple streaming rights, like a percentage. Not a lot, but enough to like make it ludicrous, crazy. He's also signing a new deal with Adidas. And now the team has to wear Adidas jerseys, right? So he's getting a big shoe deal from Adidas, but not money. It's another Michael Jordan / type of shoe deal. He's going to get a percentage, and they're going to create a shoe line, the Messi Adidas shoe line. Think about that. He might be he's going to be the first soccer player to have a legacy line, where he's going to have not just a cleat, but a luxury shoe as well. How cool is that? That's potentially $1 billion deal in itself.
That's crazy. That's crazy money. Because I thought they did something with David Beckham, like they gave him $500 million.
Beckham had the same kind of deal. That's why Beckham made like a ton of money.
But
Like
how
a
come
ton
that
of
did
money.
not take off?
Beckham's not Messi.
I mean, how is Messi going to be different then?
Messi has the credentials. He's the best player ever. Has the most goals.
He just won the
Just won the World Cup.
World Cup.
Beckham's never won the World Cup.
Yeah. Is that right?
And then and there's a thing called the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Beckham's not never won a ton of those. He won a couple, but not a ton. But Messi.
Mm-hmm.
There's the MVP, the Ballon d'Or. I don't think Beckham's ever gotten a Ballon d'Or. Messi has like 7, 8, or 9.
Oh my goodness.
And that's for like the best player in all the leagues, not just his league, all the leagues. On top of all the awards he gets for his league, Beckham didn't get all the awards in just his league. This dude crushed it, and I guess Beckham gave Messi half of his ownership interest of Miami. So Beckham owned 10%, and he gave 5% of it to Messi to come there. Obviously, Beckham, there's something in it for Beckham, right? He has a backdoor deal or something for bringing Messi in, you know. But that's crazy. Messi, and we're going to go back to the ticket sales because my son goes, hey, Dad, Messi's coming here. You said if he comes here, we're going to go watch a game. I was like, okay, let's go watch a game and see the ticket sales. Kid you not, LAFC, which is our favorite MLS team, we just picked a team, a favorite team to watch. LAFC is our favorite team. My cousin, Caesar, has season tickets. Him and his family. Pretty cool. Kid you not, before Messi was announced, tickets were about $100, like for good seats. Like I was like, yeah, dude, well, splurge, get 4 real good seats for like $100 each. It's like $1,400 today.
Oh my God.
Today. $1,400 to $1,800.
To see one player.
And what if he's not playing?
Oh, I know. Oh my God, I'd be so pissed.
Think about like the NBA when all these kids are like, oh, I want to see LeBron play. He's coming into town and he doesn't play.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. Oh, he's taking a day off. No, take a day off when you're in your city. Don't take a day off when people are paying to come watch you play. Like Messi's a big like.
So, do they play against Phoenix here?
No, Phoenix doesn't have a team.
Okay.
The Rising is like second level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang. So the closest city we'd have to
LA.
watch is LA.
Yeah.
Oh man.
LA has 2 teams, the Galaxy and LAFC.
Okay, so there's just that's expensive.
Oh, because it's like $100, like for some games. Some tickets are $80 still on their schedule. But when Miami comes to LA, it's like $1,400 for those same tickets, and I'm like, holy shit, no, because now I'm gambling that I'm gonna pay. Even if I wanted to pay that, I'm gambling on the fact that Messi might not play.
Mm-hmm.
What if he gets hurt, stubs his toe in practice?
Well, Messi could be the player that people get interested in. They want to see him, but he can also help rise new players, right? It's just kind of like how people got interested in other sports. Like they followed this one awesome player like a Jordan, and he plays against other good players that just gets to his level. And then, but that player is in their local home team, so people want to follow them. It's just like has this ripple effect.
Well, Messi's that guy for me. He's a great dude. He's a great player. He's a great family man. 35.
So how much longer does he have?
He can play till well. That's the thing too. Like soccer players, once you hit like 37, there's some playing at 39 that aren't as good. Messi's 35. But there's people like Zlatan, who is 41 and is still doing pretty good. So Messi could play the next World Cup. His contract is on purpose 3.5 years, so he can play in the next World Cup and didn't walk away. Which, think about it, the next World Cup is here in the States. So he'll be here in the States. He'll bring awareness. MLS is not ever going to be the same as, these other teams. Saudi Arabia right now is trying to create a super league and getting all these players to come and paying them crazy amount of money, $200 million, come play over here, and they're trying to take some stars away from the other leagues. I see Saudi Arabia doing it before the U.S. just because they're getting real talent and they're following the same, relegation and promotions as the other leagues. MLS isn't doing that. You know,
what's required for the U.S. to have real talent? Is it just like have stronger college teams?
well, it's not really that. They just need there needs to be more money. See, in other countries, you don't have baseball, football, basketball taken away from the sport and from the fans, right? You come to America, you have all kinds of things you can watch. You know, you don't have to be stuck watching soccer. You can be like, you know what, I'm gonna watch the baseball game. You know what, I'm gonna watch the football game. We have NFL. NFL's, I hate to say it, it's exciting. It's once a week. It's you get emotional watching it, and it's big. But for soccer, it's like, yeah, you know, it's hard to bring fans in. Everyone's like, oh, it's so slow, it's so slow. It is if you're not into it. If you understand the sport, it's like chess, right? It's not checkers. It's, you know, everyone wants points now, this and that. In soccer, like, it's an emotional sport.
NFL gets 2 points. Basketball gets a lot of points. But hockey isn't. You know, it's low scoring. So it's the back and forth that you have to appreciate.
Correct. Soccer's the same way. It's a lot of back and forth, and it's basically setting up for an attack. You know, I've learned to appreciate this sport. I love watching Premier League. That's my favorite league to watch. I follow Barcelona as my favorite team to watch. They play in La Liga. That's a good league as well. But like England has a bunch of good teams. You know, I love watching Manchester United. Man City just won the Champions League last week or the week before. So they're number one team right now, which is amazing. But that's where soccer is. And you watch the European leagues compared to MLS, completely different game. Completely. They're trying here in America to make it exciting and this and that. And I tell people, if you want to watch something, go watch an LAFC game. You know, there's a thing on Hulu or Amazon Prime on LAFC. Pretty cool to see. Will Ferrell is part owners of the team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and then you watch like Ryan Reynolds just bought a team, the Wrexham team in England. Pretty cool to watch. That's another show on, I think it's Prime. I definitely watch it because it's really educational to see how much love there is for that sport in those countries. But going back to Messi, I mean, he's still he might make more money and have a better life. Miami's his new home. Him and his wife said, this is where we want to retire. Wow. This is it for him. They're not kidding when they say this is where I want to be. But here's another thing with Messi. He's bringing his boys with him. He's going to get some players come here that he like Luis Suarez is another player that might come to Miami. Good player. He's a little older, so he's not as great, but you don't need that. If you come into MLS, he's going to crush it. Messi's going to crush it. I heard rumors that Di Marina is going to come here. He's going to crush it. He's a teammate of Messi in Argentina. He's real good. He's going to do good. If all his boys come here, Miami's going to be a different team, and they might run the table. They might go from worst to first and surprise everybody. That team is going to be like awesome to watch if all those guys come here. Like those are like international superstars that are going to come to MLS at one time. It's pretty crazy. It's a lot bigger than Beckham, I'll tell you that. Or Wayne Rooney when Wayne Rooney came.
So a lot of international viewership, a lot of Europe, definitely a lot of South America.
Well,
or Latin America.
Latin America's going to watch the heck out of those games because you're going to get a lot of fans. A lot of people love Messi, and they're going to follow Miami. So you're going to see Miami wins completely because they're going to sell merchandise. I mean, crap, we're going to buy jerseys. They're black and pink. You're going to see that black and pink everywhere in Latin America. Watch. They're going to follow Miami. So Miami has a big reach. Their team's going to Inter Miami's the team. They're going to have a lot of fans now all over. Not just Miami, not just the U.S., not just Latin America, but maybe some European people will watch because a lot of people respect Messi. Arguably the best player. Him and Ronaldo are the two best players I've ever seen.
Where can you watch it?
So since he's getting revenue shares with Apple TV is getting the rights to all the games.
So you have to have Apple TV to watch the games?
Apple TV to watch those games. It might be a couple games here and there on YouTube TV, and I don't see why. I don't know. No, I think they'll be on Apple. Since Apple has the rights now, I think they would black out ESPN and all them. You would think. I don't know. That's a good question. You would think ESPN would be able to get a game or two or something, or somehow pay do a partnership with Apple.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's time to get that Apple subscription here pretty soon. I was telling my brother, you're a football fan, right? Soccer.
Oh yeah.
What do
Oh
you
yeah.
think? What do you
Soccer. Oh,
think?
so real football.
Yeah, real
Okay.
football. See, I told you, real football. Why? What do you think of Messi going to MLS? How do you feel about that?
Um. Okay. I love the fact that it's happening and that he's going to be the biggest star that has ever played in American, on American soil, at least in our generation. Because obviously Pele played,
New
decades
York.
ago. And
Yeah, back in the day.
yeah, Pele is the biggest there's ever been. But I mean, when it comes down to it, yeah, I love the fact that it's happening. Here's what I don't like. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. Miami's not that far. It's like 5, 6 hours away. My whole thought was I have a good friend I've worked with since I've known for like 20 some odd years. His name's Carlos. He lives in Vegas now, but I grew up with him in California. I used to work with him in at Circuit City back in the day when I was really
Wow, Circuit
like half
City.
my life ago. Yeah. So he's a huge football fan, huge soccer fan. And Argentina has always been his favorite national team. I'm a Germany guy. He's an Argentina guy. So he loves Messi. Messi, is his idol. He is.
I love Messi
And
too.
so yeah, and so yeah, he's amazing. He's an amazing player. He really is. There's nothing you can say negative about the guy. The guy does it the right way. He's
100%.
phenomenal. But here's the thing about it. So we had when the talks first started months ago about this potentially happening, he and I had spoken, and I said, if this is going to happen, dude, we've got to get together. You're in Vegas, I'm in Florida. He's going to be playing in Miami, dude. We fly to Jacksonville or whatever. I'll move you down to Miami, whatever you want to do. Let's go see a game. So, the whole thing really kind of happened really, really quick. Once it actually got announced, it was just like, bam, this happened. There was no real kind of build up necessarily to it. Just kind of just overnight seemed like, oh, Messi's coming to Miami. So I was like, oh, this is great. So there's this app I love on my phone called Fanimal. I use it whenever I want to buy tickets for stuff because you don't have to pay fees, unlike SeatGeek and the other ones.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay the fees. So what you see is what you pay. I love it. Free advertising for Fanimal. It's great. So go on Fanimal, and the cost, my God, what was a $40 ticket? Was a $40 ticket now is $300, $150 for like just to get in the freaking door. And so it's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to play along with this. Any other game you want to see, if you want to go see an Inter Miami game right now, $43 a ticket. July 21st, which is the game that everyone's expecting Messi to debut in, is like ridiculous now. That's not fair to the fans.
No, it's not. I was telling my brother the same thing. I was like, because I follow LAFC. That's the team I follow in MLS.
Uh-huh.
I try to have a favorite team in that league. And I was looking at tickets. They're like $100, maybe 120, lower level. Because my cousin has season tickets there. So I was like, my son's like, oh, Dad, Messi's coming. You said if he went to Miami, we'd go see him play. I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's look at tickets. $1,400 on SeatGeek.
Yep. So
I
here's
can't justify that.
Imagine you're exactly in that position because obviously I don't have kids. So here's your kid wants to go see Messi, the best there's ever been, the best that whatever, the GOAT, if you will, which I hate that term, but I'll use it here like loosely. You're using this thing. Everyone wants to go see him. He's playing on American soil. You never get to see this guy play. I only get to see him. I get to see him, on TV. You get to see him in the flesh now. Now you don't have to go all the way to Europe. You don't have to go to South America. And now suddenly the tickets are ridiculous. They're more expensive than NFL tickets.
Yeah,
it's not fair. Soccer. I'm used to NFL football being unreasonably expensive. I acknowledge the fact that that's just the case. And if I want to go to a game for two people to get decent seats, I'm probably going to have to drop $250, $300. That's just the way it is. Soccer is not about that. the reason, like, I'm a Bayern Munich fan. Okay, the reason I love the Bundesliga and the reason I love Bayern is the fact that
They went
yeah,
up. It's
exactly.
1,600 now.
Yeah. So the reason that I'm a Bayern fan is the fact that they have a system in the Bundesliga called the 50+1 rule. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. So essentially just what it says is that there's no bigger group that can own an actual soccer club in Germany in the Bundesliga. It's all majorly owned by fans. And what that basically does is it makes it so that you can't have a situation like you have in the Premier League or in League One or
La
in
Liga.
Series A or whatever else, where you basically have, like oil sheiks from the UAE or from Qatar going and buying a soccer club and spending obscene amounts of money because there's no salary cap or anything else, and then just jacking up the price to justify their expenses basically.
Yeah.
So you can go and see Bayern Munich, the top team, the top flight team in Germany, and you can get in for 40, $50.
Nice.
That's what it should be. The whole idea basically is that it should be affordable for the average working person to be able to go with their family to see a game. And that's the way that soccer should be. It's the world sport for a reason.
Yep.
Let's make it that way. It's the way it should be here. MLS should be marketing itself as something for everyone, and it's not.
It's not. Not with those ticket prices.
This way. No. I like LAFC, that they actually are the Bayern like sister club, which is kind of cool. They have kind of like a partnership going. Yeah, they do. It happened earlier this year. Got announced at LAFC. But the team I actually really kind of like is Atlanta United. One, because obviously Atlanta. I love Atlanta teams typically. But I like the idea that
we got 1 minute left.
Yeah, but living in Florida, I like the idea that I can go see a team, relatively close to me and in a stadium that I like, obviously in a city I like. So I can go see I can go see a normal game for $40. If I want to go see the Atlanta United game when Miami goes to play there, $400. Come on.
It's not cool.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
The guy's getting paid a king's ransom, and I have nothing against that. I have nothing against, the guy making money. Yeah, but come on, don't do it at the expense of the fans.
Yep.
Don't burn them.
Thanks for watching our clip. If you want to see more clips like this and you like our views, like the show, click here for some more clips. If you want to hear the whole podcast, watch the whole podcast, click here for the whole podcast. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll get back to you. Thank you, and have a great day.